Hi there friends, I'm going to be talking to you today about one of my favorite art supplies, colored pencils. So, couple things. I know I've already mentioned that colored pencils should always go with the tip up. That way you know if it's sharp, and if it is a really sharp one, it won't break when it's put down. So, another thing about colored pencils that is really important is that they're actually super fragile. When you drop a colored pencil on the floor or even a regular pencil, the color inside of it breaks. So the pencil looks fine, but it's not actually, it's broken. And that's why often when you have things like this where the color is shoved down there, it's because someone has dropped this pencil before. So accidents happen, but try not to let them roll off the table. Also, at your table, you should be able to have a little cup and a sharpener. So please sharpen the colored pencils and dump the shavings into my very hungry trash cans. I've got some trash can monsters, and one of their favorite snacks is colored pencil shavings or regular pencil shavings. So you can even use this as like a baby trash can for your table if you're doing something else too. All right. Enough about that. Let's go on to the coloring. Now, when you use a colored pencil, color on the side, not the very tip. If you color on the side, it's going to help you get a more smooth color. So your goal when you're coloring is to try to get it to look smooth and not scratchy. And you also want to try to get it to look pretty even. So, to color dark, of course, you just press harder and then it's going to apply more pressure on your paper and it'll become darker. But when you color light, you're still going back and forth the same amount of times as you would if you're coloring dark. You're just pressing lighter. But that might seem pretty simple, but I've got a few tricks that I want you to pay attention to. And if you do not know what you'd like to make today, please practice your colored pencil. One thing you could do is to practice shading. When you shade, that's one of those fancy ways to make your art look better. When you shade, you are going to give your project more form. It's going to look like your project is 3D. And the way I'm shading is I color dark first. That looks okay, but now I'm going to go up a little bit and press medium. So I'm trying to blend the color. Now I'm making this look easy, but this takes a lot of practice to make it blend. I am blending the colors by pressing a little bit lighter and going back and forth. Do you see how my circle is beginning to look more like a ball shape? Or ball form, I guess. Okay. Another thing I love about colored pencils is you can blend colors. So you can take a color and blend it with another one to make an altogether new color. I'm gonna play around. The more you practice, the better you will get. So, do you see I made that kind of neat green, huh? And I completely blended it in. I started with just a circle, and look what I've created so far. So another thing that you can do is I can create a complete form by making a shadow. So, something that you can, it doesn't have to be black. But you can drag it out, and I'm making the same type of shape, just dragged out. So I made a circle, but instead of making a regular circle, I flattened it to make an oval shape. Do you see how this is kind of an oval shape, or it would be if I continued it? Does that make sense? Gosh, I hope so. And you can practice making shadows. I'm gonna make it a little darker around the edge. Practice that blending. That blending and having different values, there's an art word for you, is going to be what makes your art look even better. There's one last trick I want to show you, so please hang tough. All right. right, the last trick I want to show you is you can do this trick with either a pencil eraser or a white colored pencil, and it's called burnishing. Burnishing is when you really blend and you take away all the scratchiness by kind of loosely blending the colors together. Now, I'm not pressing super hard on my eraser, but do you see it's subtle? So you might have trouble seeing it, but do you see how my art's getting a little bit better? It looks smoother. Let me try it on the shadow. I think you'll be able to see it better on the shadow. So right now I could tell it's a colored pencil, but if you blend a little bit, it should look more solid and smooth. White will give you a similar effect. If you go on with your white colored pencil, go in the same direction that you colored in, and you can blend it to make it more smooth. Again, that's called burnishing. All right, friends, I think I've talked enough for today. So if you don't know what to do today, practice colored pencils because it really is an awesome art material. Happy arting.